you guys, and welcome to the last topic in the series of Mindfulness Mondays. We've done a lot of work, and I appreciate you joining me along the way and on this journey. And I'm excited to share with you this last topic in the series, and it's about how to find good guides and teachers and navigate this process as you go forward, leveling up, scarcity economy, how to get through some of the pitfalls and to get your practice on a good footing so it can flourish and grow as you move forward. So let's start with the concept of scarcity economy. We're at a level and a stage I think we all know that we need to level up and figure some shit out as a human race. We need to make a choice and a decision. Are we going to live and wallow in this scarcity economy land where we feel like there's not enough, we're not good enough, there is no solution? Or are we going to get out of that old archaic dichotomy in thinking and just strip that away and throw it right in the garbage, because it is garbage, and move on and expand and grow and evolve as a human race and as a species? Because that's where the goods are, that's where the play is, that's where the fun is, that's where the exploration, the excitement, the growth, that's where everything is. And in terms of scarcity economy, we see it everywhere. In terms of finances and jobs, there's not enough jobs, there's not enough money, there's not enough, I'm not good enough, my life's not good enough. We see it in every facet and corner. And so once I started to, every time that sensation arose in me of scarcity economy or not good enough or I don't have enough or whatever, I sat with it and inquired, where's that thought coming from? Or where's that sensation coming from? And I questioned and I inquired that thought over and over hundreds of times until it loosened its grip on me, and then everything flourished from there. So in terms of scarcity economy, specifically in teachers and guides right now, there's a lot of that. This is a very nebulous area right now, and we're just like in our infantile stages of letting this information get mass marketed right now. This information and knowledge, these deep processes and rich historical and cultural practices of meditation and mindfulness. It's really getting massively, it used to be passed down from guru to student orally, and you had to go study or become a monk or whatever to get this kind of knowledge. And now it's just being, the beautiful thing is it's out there. You can find good teachers and guides now, but also you can find a lot of bad ones that are all scarcity economy and it's my method and you have to do it like this. And I want to start getting you to strip away from that old dichotomy and thinking. So this used to be a process. These traditions were passed down orally, and you would find a really good guru. And a guru is just somebody who's steeped in, weighted in experiential knowledge. They've sat on the meditation cushion, they've done their work, thousands and thousands of hours, decades working on this process. That's why we go back to the last living Buddha, the last enlightened being, and learn from him, because we know he was steeped in knowledge. He figured some shit out, for example. But there are living gurus and guides and people that are really steeped in knowledge, that are delicious and beautiful, and doing this in an altruistic way, in a non-scarcity economy way. So the first thing I would tell you is, if you find a teacher or a guide or somebody out there, you want to take a class or you want to go do a course or a workshop with somebody, I would really turn on your antenna as soon as you walk in the door to watch for clues and cues on scarcity economy with that teacher. Find out what their intentions are, because there are some beautiful teachers out there, you guys. The Goenka's organization, I think it's dharma.org, that process of Vipassana method of meditation is completely beautiful, altruistic, non-profit. They will house you and feed you for 10 days, and you don't do anything but learn how to meditate. And when you walk out that door, all they ask you for is a donation that you are comfortable and able to give. And if you aren't able to give, then you come back and donate your time if you can. And if you can't, they don't ask a specific amount or thing from you. Shinzen Young is beautiful in that he does discourses, and he puts tons of free discourses out there on his YouTube channel, and he does home weekend retreat practices where you can do them in home, learn how to meditate, and they're extremely reasonable. They're like $10 a session. You could do a whole weekend. I just signed up for one this weekend, and it was like $50 for the whole weekend. And I've heard Shinzen say his intention, and it is congruent, his words are congruent with his actions, is, look, we got to turn this ship around. I just want to reach as many people as I can. I want a methodology. He's developed a methodology that reaches as many people as he can without excluding them. It's not dogmatic. Neither is the Vipassana method. There's no dogma, there's no religion, there's no rites or rituals or silliness about that. It's just steeped and based in science and knowledge and gaining experiential knowledge, these practices. Another really cool teacher out there right now is Michael Taft. He does a podcast at Deconstructing. I'll post a link to it, but I think he wrote the book The Mindful Geek. And then Byron Katie, I just shared her as a teacher with you last week. She's beautiful, amazing, enlightened being. Eckhart Tolle, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. It's the orange book that he wrote. I would suggest starting with that book. He's a delicious teacher. There are so many delicious, living, rich teachers out there, you guys, right now, that we can go to for knowledge and guidance and to learn from. So find some people, and what you need to do is find a teacher to study with or practice with that is at a little bit higher level than you. That helps you to, it helps to hold the space to say, come on, come this way, you're getting distracted here, or don't worry about this here, and because they know, they've been there, they've walked that path. And what's beautiful about these teachers and guides now out there, these they're not like old school traditional gurus where you would go to a guru and it would be, you don't question their method, you just swallow that pill whole and you go all, balls out with their method. And that's how this tradition used to be. It was so sacred. It was so, you don't inquire or question, or if you did inquire or question, a lot of it was shut down to you. The access to knowledge was shut down to you because that teacher or guide or guru had one set method, had one set way that they taught and philosophy, and that was it. Now there's a difference between coming to a teacher and having them say, stop fucking about here, your mind's just fucking about with you here, go here, sit down, do the work, shut up, sit down, do the work, versus shut up, don't question me, I'm right, you're wrong. See the distinction there. So you want to find teachers and guides and gurus that you can question and inquire with, and ask them about what's going on internally with you, and allow them to help you through the pitfalls, allow them to help you evolve, because this is what this is. It's a process of evolution. It's a process. The process of enlightenment is a process of evolution. And I would say not only find good guides and teachers, but also know when to drop them or when to evolve past them. Every teacher that's ever worth his salt will tell you, I want students who could be even better than me, who could be even more wise than me, who take this like wildfire and evolve even past me. Because this is the deal with scarcity economy. If you're a scarcity economy teacher, you don't want your students to evolve past where you are, because then they wouldn't need you and then you wouldn't have a job or blah, blah, blah. Archaic way of thinking. No, a good teacher wants students that are like, Eckhart Tolle got enlightenment like that. Byron Katie got it like that. Some people get it slow and through this long process and journey in decades. So everybody's at a different level. And so you should want peers and students and guides and just people on this earth that are better than you in a sense. And I don't mean better than you, I mean that are more steeped in that knowledge or enlightened than you, because in that way, we build each other up. They come to you, they learn something, they grow over here and learn something over here. They could even come back to you and teach you something, and they could grow and evolve beyond you. And it is an ever-evolving process. It's you start here, you hit a spark of knowledge, or you do some deep intensive work, and your whole world blows up and you grow and expand. And then maybe you come back here to level out a little bit, acclimate that into your daily life, come into a place of homeostasis again, and then you go, okay, how can I expand my practice? What else could I learn? What else could I study? How else could I grow? And it's this ever evolving cycle. And we start here and get here and here and here. Or we start here and go here and here and here and here. And speaking of that cycle of growth, let go of your teachers. Get to that place where, I love this. Osho was a great teacher. He had some really, this is the thing about gurus. You have to be careful. Like, he came into a place, there was a perfect storm around him. His teaching and philosophy was beautiful. But like, for instance, the lady at the helm of his practice that was keeping control of everything while he was just this enlightened being in the background, she was kind of chaos. And he got really, his sannyasas, his whole organization got really massive and big, and it was this perfect storm of out of controlness. But when you sit back and just see what were his teachings, they were profound, they were beautiful. And one of his teachings was, evolve past your teacher. Know when you evolve past your teacher. But also, know when you evolve past your own levels and beliefs. So we will learn something new and incorporate it in, and our mind will want to go, we do this with everything, with politics, with religion, with everything. Oh, I learned about that, now it's done, I'm going to stop growing. I have a belief system about that, and now it's working with me, and I'm working with it, and as soon as we do that, the inquiry process dies, and that topic dies to us, and we're no longer growing. To put it in another way, there's an ancient saying, I don't know if it's Zen or Buddhist saying, I can't remember where it came from, but today's enlightenment is basically tomorrow's detriment or tomorrow's imprisonment. So when you experience these beautiful glimpses into reality, or these level ups, or these moments of satori or growth experiences in your process, be prepared to let them go. Be prepared to go, oh, that was a beautiful, rich experience. It brought me here, or it brought me here, it brought me here. And if I just cling to this place and stay here, my evolutionary process stops. That's what's so beautiful about this practice, you guys. This is an ever evolving, ever unfolding, beautiful, rich, lush practice. So don't be afraid to come to a point where, have I evolved past the level of knowledge that I'm going to get from this teacher or this philosophy or this practice? And where can I turn my compass and focus and attention? Now that I have these skills from this teacher, this practice, this guide, where can I go next? Where can I go next? There are tons of people out there in the world that are doing this work right now, and that are kind of muddling through it, and they're also your guides. They're also your teachers. So find some peers and support groups and other people that are going through this practice, because what you're going to find is, if you get deep and you actually say, you know what, this is worthy of my time, I'm going to spend some time and attention here in this topic, you're going to find that your dichotomy, the matrix in this world that you've created, that you've connected to, that you plugged into, it's going to feel different. It's going to look different. It's going to be different. Like when you come back from a deep retreat, you come back into everyday life. You live like a monk. You come back in as a householder, or you try to put these practices into place in your real world, in your everyday world. You're going to find sometimes it's hard to explain to other people what you're going through. Sometimes it's hard to, you see, I'm experiencing this drastic and dramatic change within me, and it's beautiful and it's rich and luscious, but I don't know how to relate in this land or this world. And there is absolutely a path and a way to do that so beautifully too. But one of those places that's helpful to work in this dichotomy is to have a group of peers, other people that are doing the practice with you or doing other practices. And that's just as much I found to be a lush and rich resource. I'm just finding other people who are putting in the time doing the work and learning from them. We can learn from peers and guides. This information, you guys, is not locked up any longer. It's not just passed down monastically or religiously. This information and knowledge in these deep states of meditation and these very, very beautiful tools are no longer locked up. As we evolve as a human species, our process and evolution of learning should evolve too. So those are just some of the pitfalls and kind of things to watch for, and some advice I have for you in moving forward in this process and finding happiness within and finding joy and bliss and working through this process at your own speed and your own rate. So the last thing I would say is work through this process at your own speed and your own rate, and know every single day, remind yourself there's no right or wrong, there's no I'm just working. Be kind to yourself. Have a practice of self-love, compassion, metta, whatever it is. Find that component of compassion for yourself and incorporate it into your everyday practice, because you're going to need that, because our crazy little mind is going to negatively bias mind fuck you a lot through this process. And you've got to have that self-inquiry to go, oh, that's just a thought, or oh, that was last week's practice. I can let go of that belief without clinging to it, and learning to let go of things, and learning to go, oh, that I can play here and evolve here, or grow here and evolve here in this process. So I hope that you have enjoyed this journey along the way with me. Thank you for joining me for this series. And I'm going to wrap it up because I'm super excited to move on. I'm going to let this series go, and now I'm moving on, and I want to start with the next series that I think is so profoundly important right now, is conscious sexuality and tantra, conscious connections and interactions. Because at the end of the day, you guys, what are we put on this earth for? What are we here for? This bag of bones is going to rot and die. We're not leaving long-lasting imprints, and that's okay. That's okay. So what are we here to do along the way? Figure our shit out. Maybe get a little enlightened and connect with other human beings. Fill our cup up there. And I think this is an area that there's a huge gap. And if we could fill in this hole or this gap, so many other things would flourish from it. So I'm super excited. Tantric Tuesdays, and watch for that series if you're interested in it. It doesn't matter whether you're single or you're not, or you have sex or you don't. This is all about self-love and compassion. And if you want to connecting to yourself or connecting to other people, how to get into intimacy, how to unpack it, really make those interactions and connections authentic and rich and luscious and deep and beautiful, without compromising, and in a healthy way. So I've been practicing tantric conscious sexuality now for about 6 or 7 years, and I'm so excited to share with you some of the gems that I've learned along the way. So thanks for joining me today, you guys. Have a fabulous week and life. Namaste.